is when we're talking about Toreandos, we're talking about basically flanking our partner, getting past their legs. The idea is if I can get past his hip line and I have a chance to drop down, I can get to a pin here where I can score points for a guard pass. Okay, to qualify to get points, I need to be past Livia's legs here and connect myself either chest to chest or knee and belly position. We're going to look at both today, but first we're going to focus on getting to chest. Okay. So we're going to look a little bit at how to prevent people who know what they're doing from connecting their legs to our legs and grabbing onto our legs with their hands and blocking us from flanking. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little drill where we work on our posture and our grips, and then how we can get an angle. When I approach someone here who's supine, who's on their back here, I want to look to first come in, if I walk in like this, my legs are close together and I'm not that fast. Livia will be able to get a hold of me pretty easy here. If I try to just circle around her guard, she can follow me pretty easy and stay squared up here. Okay, so what I'm looking to do is I want my legs back and my head forward. Okay, like I want to bend over at the waist here and want to have some weight on my toes here. Okay, if I walk in, just bend over here, but not with my legs back, it's fairly easy for her to just get a hold of my legs, either with her legs or with her hands. And once she has that, then I'm get kind of stuck in front of her. Okay, so I'm leaned back, one leg back here, and I approach like this. So now, if she wants to try to reach me, just if she stays on her back here. If she tries to reach me with her legs, it's kind of hard. If she tries to grab my legs with her hands, my upper body is in the way here. And I can start to make grips and circle. Okay, so we want to bend over here a little bit, lean in, hips back, head forward, and we want to approach here. We can grab the legs either by the sole of the feet, on top of the ankles, or hands mid-shin here. If we're leaning properly, we should be able to push our partner's knees towards their chest with either grips. Here, here, here. Okay, if we're bent over like this, it's very hard for me to generate the same pressure and she can kick me away. Okay, so posture, grips, and then we just want to make an angle to finish the drill. So to make an angle, look, I step in behind my hands here. Then I want to take a wide step. All right, so I step forward with my right, and then I take a wide step with my left. And now I can start to circle here. Okay. A test we can see here to make sure that we're stepping in the correct pattern is if Livia can touch my left leg here when I move to the left, here, I'm messing my footwork up. If she can do that, it's easy for her to just lift her hips and put me back in guard. So when I come in, look, if I take a good wide step here, if she tries to reach my leg, it's very far. And now I can circle and get an ankle. If you try to see if she can reach my post leg here, my far leg, she can reach this leg here, probably, here, but it's not as important. If she tries to put me back in guard here, it's more difficult. If she can reach the other one, she can put me back in guard, okay? So let's work on these three things here. First, do it real slow. Then you can add some more intensity. But the whole point is basically just to test the posture, our grips, and then making the correct angle without our first leg here. In this case, my left leg, if I go to the left. And making sure that this post leg here doesn't get framed. And the partner can just push back here. Okay, right? Here it can be chill. But when it's time to come in, I need to get to my stand. I need to start working. All right. First thing we're gonna look at is just a basic flank, and then dropping down for a crossface and an underhook. Okay, so this is the most simple stuff here. So I get in. I make sure I lead with my leg here. If I'm going to the left, I'm leading with my right. If I was to go to the right side, I want to lead with my left here. So I approach, I make sure she doesn't get a grip with her feet. So whatever grip makes sense to go here, whether it be under the foot, on the ankle, or mid-shin, I just take whatever is available for me here as I step in. Then I want to start to flank. So take a wide step with my left foot now, and I start to flank here. Now what I'm looking for is I want tension in her legs. When I'm leaning in and I'm pushing in, as soon as she pushes back, that's gonna help me throw the legs to the side. So, whole thing here is I'm generating pressure and I'm looking to force her to start to extend her legs. When I feel that tension, it's easy for me to throw the legs away. And once the legs are pointing away from me, I have the space to start to drop down, bring my head to the far shoulder, and look to get an underhook where I go under the arm, and a crossface where I go under the neck here. Okay, so yeah, let's just take it from this angle. So I approach behind my hands here with a good hip hinge here. Don't be lazy with your hips. Like, do some remaining deadlifts if you don't know hip hinging, but you need to be down here. Here, I start to step out. Look how I step wide here, so she can't reach the leg. If I step close, I'm wasting my own time here and I'm walking into trouble. Here, step out, I make that angle, I give a good push here, and when she kicks back, I throw the legs away. When I drop down, I don't want to headbutt her. I'm looking to drop my head to the far side of her body here to get chest to chest. And I take an underhook on one side, crossface on the other. Just lock my hands and drop down here. Okay, so my whole goal is to basically land between the space between her elbows and knees. As long as her knees are pointing towards me and she keeps them close to her body, it's difficult. Once I can make them point away, I get the space I need to come down. Make sure you go under the arm here and under the head like this. If you drop down into a headlock, if you're really big, maybe you can hold people in place, but if she slips out, she's on my back, and I just went from a neutral to almost a good to a terrible position, okay? Step out here. I'm generating pressure. I can feel her tensing her legs up, and once I feel that, I push them away, and I look to drop down, score my position here on two knees, with a crossface and underhook. Fairly simple. The whole deal is your partner tries to keep the legs relaxed, but when they feel the pressure of their knees being pushed towards the chest and they want to release that tension, they kick. That kick is going to help you throw the legs by and get to side control. Think about trying to get in, avoid our partner gripping us, and then when we get an angle here, we want to try to keep that angle. So as she's trying to bring her legs back in, I keep getting a good angle here. I want to think about getting past first the line of the feet, the line of the knees, and then to finalize the pass, I need to get past the line of the hips here. So here, I'm past the feet, but I still need to deal with the knees. So I'm not ready to drop down yet. Once I start to get a good flank here, now I start to get past the knees. And now there's only the hip left, okay? From here, when I have this angle, it's easier for me to just start to push the legs away and drop down. Sometimes we gotta, especially if her knees are close to her chest, I gotta make a strong angle where I'm basically diagonal here with my head pointing down back towards the hips. From here, it's a lot easier to just push the knees away. If she's kicking her legs early, then I don't need that strong of an angle, okay? So if you feel like you can't push the legs away, you need a stronger angle. You gotta keep walking out here. Always like this, with one foot in front of the other. Here. If we're out here, we're so far away to going chest to chest that if I try to drop down, it's gonna be super clumsy. But when I'm out like this, it's fairly controlled for me to start to drop down on my knees, okay? So make sure you have one foot in front of the other. So when I'm here with Livia, she's not interested in pushing on my shoulders here. She's just wants to stay tight here. So from here, I need to keep walking and get an angle. Basically, I want to be past her shoulder line here with my head looking down towards the legs. Okay, so when I start, my grips are straight like this, right? As I create an angle, I circle more and more towards the shoulder line. As soon as I step past the shoulders, now from here, I can start to just, like, I can go to the outside of the close knee and on the inside of the near knee. And just start to walk them down. So look how I walk it. I switch my grip, one grip at a time. So I go from mid shin to outside of the knee, and here to the inside of the knee. Even if she really tries to keep everything tight here together, I can tilt her knees down here. Now, I got past the knees, I made them point away, that's awesome, but I still need to go chest to chest. If she keeps turning away, then it's back take territory. That's for another time. Today we're just talking about guard passing. She wants to look back and square back up with me. And this is where I look to get my head and arm here. And I want my knee here close to her hips to make sure her knee doesn't come back in. So I want to get back to here. Okay. So guys, I'm switching the grips as I walk past the shoulder line here. This is the line of the shoulders. Once I pass that, I go to outside of the knee on the one that's closest to me here and the inside on the other. From here, I can walk down. I can even walk down towards the hips first. So it's hard for her to bring her knees back, and then I can go chest to chest up here. She knows that if I get all the way past her shoulder line, it's super easy for me to just walk the legs down. So Olivia is interested in trying to square up with me as much as possible. This is the best. This is starting to get dicey, and when I get to 90 here, it's really becomes a problem, and when I get here, it's a serious problem, right? What she's trying to do is she wants to get her hips back in and square up with me, right? So as I walk, sometimes your partner will really do a big effort of trying to get their feet back in. And we can use that to throw the legs by and go to the other side. So I walk, walk, walk. I feel the legs are coming back in. As I feel them come in, I take them a little bit further than what she wants. And now I just walk to the other side. Now we have the same scenario as before. Her legs is one side of the body, I'm on the other. From here, I could try to drop down, but probably if her knees is still close to her chest, she'll bring her shins in, get frames back, and now it's hard for me to control her. She can start to put me back into a guard here. So instead of dropping all the way down, I just bring my knee to her belly. So I come in here, as it comes in, I throw the legs by. I'm looking to drop down, and look, I'm just placing my knee right around her belly button here. Hands go to the mat, my other leg steps out wide. From here, when she tries to bring the knee in, it's difficult, and I have this little stop where I can look to get to the head and the underhook. Here, I'm not trying to put too much weight down here, but look, I'm on my toes here, my knee right to the belly button, my foot here is out wide, my hands on the mat. So here I'm stable. When she tries to bring the knee in, my knee is in the way, and now we can look to get closer and get chest to chest. So you walk with your partner here. She's really trying to bring her legs in. When I feel it, I throw them by and walk to the other side. Now my knee comes in here, my foot's out for base. So I should be able to balance out here pretty evenly. Hands on the mat. As she's turning back in, I look for the head and the under.